What's up, everybody? I'm George Sanders. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, please. I am I'm here today so I can discuss and talk about SummerSlam and last night, and really I want to get my opinions on basically the whole Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman feud and what's about to take place in the next 5 weeks leading up to No Mercy. Now, as you all may not know, I'm a huge Braun Strowman fan. I've been a fan of his since he debuted with the Wyatt family. I knew a little bit about him because of his strongman background, but yeah, I was a big fan of him during the Wyatt family thing. When he broke out on his own, I didn't know how WWE was going to treat him. I didn't know how WWE was going to book him or treat him. The first couple of weeks he was facing jobbers. I mean, that's how James Ellsworthless, as most people will call him. I think that's what Becky Lynch calls him. That's how James Ellsworth got noticed, but that's another topic for another time. But yeah, Brock Lesnar, not Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman came a long, long way. If you think about where he was last year and compare it to where he is now, it's like night and day with this guy. He's worked so hard to get over with the fans. And some of it has to do with Roman Reigns, because if you want to admit it or not, and most people don't want to admit it, Roman Reigns is a huge reason why Braun Strowman is so over with the fans. And WWE Creative also has a say in things for Braun Strowman, but really everything about Braun Strowman is just, it's different, you know? I mean, sure, you got guys like Samoa Joe, and don't get me wrong, Samoa Joe is just as legit as Braun Strowman, but there's something about Braun Strowman that's different, you know? And he brings that aura with him. Whenever he shows up, you know it's a big deal. Just like Brock Lesnar. When Brock Lesnar shows up, like, I don't know how many days he has on his contract, but when he shows up, it's a big deal. And that's the same thing with Braun Strowman. I feel like whenever Braun Strowman makes his presence felt in a situation, it's a big, big deal. So, with that being said, I think that WWE should put the Universal title on Braun Strowman. And the reason I say that is because, look, he's over. It was clear as day at SummerSlam that the guy's over. And last night, it was clear that he's over. So, with everything that's going on in WWE, with Brock Lesnar's contract and his UFC situation, I think that WWE should either A, put the title on Braun Strowman, or B, have Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman have like a, I don't know, 2 or 3 match series where it all culminates at Survivor Series, where you can eventually put the title on Braun Strowman. Because I think that Braun Strowman, you gotta strike while the iron is hot. And Braun Strowman is white hot coming out of SummerSlam. So why not put the Universal title on him? Take a risk. Take a chance. Go all in with the guy. You know what I mean? Go all in with him. And, you know, just give the guy a chance. I mean, you've been running with him this whole year. In my opinion, if anyone should win Superstar of the Year, it should definitely be Braun Strowman. Just by his body of work this year. Sure, he hasn't won any titles, but think about where he was last year compared to where he is now. And it's like I said before, it's literally night and day, man. It's just so great with this guy. And I enjoy Braun Strowman. Whenever he's on my television screen, I mean, I just can't get enough of seeing the guy on my television screen. And I think right now, you should book the title. You should book him to win the title at No Mercy. Either that, or like I said before, you go with a 2-3 match series to where you eventually end up putting the title on Braun Strowman. Either way, out of all of this, Braun Strowman should end up winning the Universal title, because I think it's the right move right now. And you're gonna have some people say, well, just wait because it may not be his time now. What if you wait and Braun Strowman kind of fizzles out? Because when I'm looking at the Raw roster right now, and tell me who's next for Braun Strowman if he does not beat Brock Lesnar. I mean, you could have him in a program with Cena. I mean, I'll enjoy that. But then after Cena, then what? Samoa Joe? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I want to see a match between Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe. I think that would be just as legit as Brock Lesnar. I think that would be really legit. But I'm looking at the situation, and I mean, if you have him lose to Brock Lesnar, what do you do after Brock Lesnar? I mean, you could do so much things with Braun Strowman, and I mean, I think another thing that you could do with Braun Strowman that people aren't really talking about, you can move him over to SmackDown, because I can easily see Braun Strowman destroying everybody and becoming the WWE World Heavyweight Champion over on SmackDown. If you have Jinder Mahal as your WWE Champion, you can't tell me that you can't have Braun Strowman as your WWE Champion. So they can do that. They can definitely do that if he doesn't beat Brock Lesnar. You can move him over to SmackDown and have him be the Brock Lesnar type on SmackDown. I mean, you got Brock Lesnar on Raw. You're gonna have a Brock Lesnar on SmackDown and Braun Strowman. So I can easily see that happening. There's so many things you could do with Braun Strowman if he does not win the Universal title. But I just want to see the guy win the Universal title, because he's worked so hard for it. And I mean, a lot of guys worked hard for it, but I just never seen anything like Braun Strowman in a long, long time, where a guy goes from basically a nobody. I mean, be honest with yourself. Were you actually invested in Braun Strowman? I was, but were you actually invested in Braun Strowman a year ago around this time? Because if you say yes, I know most people who didn't even care for Braun Strowman. And now this year, all of a sudden, you got a bunch of fans. Oh, I'm a Braun Strowman fan. I'm a Braun Strowman fan. Like, it's like this guy has worked so hard